'Tis Pity She's a Whore by John Ford. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Dramatis Personae. Bonaventura, a friar.
Read by Alan Mapstone.
A cardinal, nuncio to the Pope.
Read by Algy Pug.
Soranzo, a nobleman.
Read by Tavarish.
Florio, citizen of Parma.
Read by Bob Neufeld.
Donado, citizen of Parma.
Read by Arnie Horton.
Grimaldi, a Roman gentleman.
Read by Rick F.
Giovanni, son to Florio.
Read by Chuck Williamson.
Bergetto, nephew to Donado.
Read by Alan Mapstone.
Ricardetto, a supposed physician.
Read by Danny Sayers.
Vasquez, servant to Soranzo.
Read by Chris Marcellus.
Poggio, servant to Bergetto.
Read by Lorne Burwell.
Banditti.
Read by Algy Pug.
Annabella, daughter to Florio.
Read by Elizabeth Barr.
Hippolyta, wife to Ricardetto.
Read by Elizabeth Klett.
Philotis, his niece.
Read by Charlotte Duckett.
Putana, tutoress to Annabella.
Read by Amanda Friday.
Officers.
Read by Libby Gahn.
Servant.
Read by Capricia Page.
Narrated by Christine G. The scene, Parma. End of Dramatis Personae. Act 1 of 'Tis Pity She's a Whore. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. 'Tis Pity She's a Whore by John Ford. Act 1. Scene 1. Friar Bonaventura's cell. Enter Friar and Giovanni.
Dispute no more in this. For no, young man, these are no school points. Nice philosophy may tolerate unlikely arguments, but heaven admits no jest. Wits that presumed on wit too much, by striving how to prove there was no God, with foolish grounds of art, discovered first the nearest way to hell, and filled the world with devilish atheism. Such questions youth are fond. Far better 'tis to bless the sun, than reason why it shines. Yet he thou talkest of is above the sun. No more, I may not hear it.
Gentle Father, to you I have unclasped my burdened soul, emptied the storehouse of my thoughts and heart, made myself poor of secrets, have not left another word untold, which hath not spoke all what I ever durst, or think, or know. And yet is here the comfort I shall have. Must I not do what all men else may? Love.
Yes, you may love, fair son.
Must I not praise that beauty which, if framed anew, the gods would make a god of it if they had it there, and kneel to it, as I do kneel to them?
Why, foolish madman?
Shall a peevish sound, a customary form from man to man, of brother and of sister, be a bar 'twixt my perpetual happiness and me? Say that we have one father, say one womb, curse to my joys, gave both of us life and birth. Are we not therefore each to other bound, so much more by nature, by the links of blood, of reason? Nay, if you will have it, even of religion, to be ever one soul, one flesh, one love, one heart, one all.
Have done, unhappy youth, for thou art lost.
Shall then, for that I am her brother born, my joys be ever banished from her bed? No, Father, In your eyes I see the change of pity and compassion. From your age, as from a sacred oracle, distills the life of counsel. Tell me, holy man, what cure shall give me ease in these extremes?
Repentance, son, and sorrow for this sin. For thou hast moved a majesty above with thy unranged almost blasphemy.
Do not speak of that, dear confessor.
Art thou, my son, that miracle of wit, who once within these 3 months wert esteemed a wonder of thine age throughout Bononia? How did the university applaud thy government, behaviour, learning, speech, sweetness, and all that could make up a man? I was proud of my tutelage, and chose rather to leave my books than part with thee. I did so, but the fruits of all my hopes are lost in thee, as thou art in thyself. O Giovanni, hast thou left the schools of knowledge to converse with lust and death? For death waits on thy lust. Look through the world, and thou shalt see 1,000 faces shine more glorious than this idol thou adorest. Leave her, and take thy choice. 'Tis much less sin. Though in such games as those they lose that win.
It were more ease to stop the ocean from floats and ebbs than to dissuade my vows.
Then I have done, and in thy wilful flames already see thy ruin. Heaven is just, yet hear my counsel.
As a voice of life.
Hie to thy father's house. There lock thee fast alone within thy chamber. Then fall down on both thy knees, and grovel on the ground. Cry to thy heart. Wash every word thou utterest in tears, and, if be possible, of blood. Beg heaven to cleanse the leprosy of lust that rots thy soul. Acknowledge what thou art, a wretch, a worm, a nothing. Weep, sigh, pray 3 times a day, and 3 times every night. For 7 days' space do this. Then, if thou find'st no change in thy desires, return to me. I'll think on remedy. Pray for thyself at home, whilst I pray for thee here. Away. My blessing with thee. We have need to pray.
All this I'll do to free me from the rod of vengeance. Else I'll swear my fates, my God.
Exeunt. Scene 2. The street before Florio's house. Enter Grimaldi and Vasquez, with their swords drawn.
Come, sir, stand your tackling. If you prove craven, I'll make you run quickly.
Thou art no equal match for me.
Indeed, I never went to the wars to bring home news, nor I cannot play the mountebank for a meal's meat, and swear I got my wounds in the field. See you these grey hairs? They'll not flinch for a bloody nose. Wilt thou to this gear?
Why, slave, thinkest thou I'll balance my reputation with a cast suit? Call thy master, he shall know that I dare.
Scold like a cot queen, that's your profession. Thou poor shadow of a soldier. I will make thee know my master keeps servants thy better in quality and performance. Com'st thou to fight, or prate?
Neither, with thee. I am a Roman and a gentleman, one that have got mine honour with expense of blood.
You are a lying coward, and a fool. Fight, or by these hilts I'll kill thee. Brave my lord, you'll fight?
Provoke me not, for if thou dost...
Have at you.
They fight. Grimaldi is worsted. Enter Florio, Donado, and Soranzo, from opposite sides.
What mean these sudden broils so near my doors? Have you not other places but my house to vent the spleen of your disordered bloods? Must I be haunted still with such unrest as not to eat or sleep in peace at home? Is this your love, Grimaldi? Fie, 'tis not.
And Vasquez, I may tell thee, 'tis not well to broach these quarrels. You are ever forward in seconding contentions.
Enter above Annabella and Putana.
What's the ground?
That with your patience, signors, I'll resolve. This gentleman, whom fame reports a soldier, for else I know not, rivals me in love to Signor Florio's daughter, to whose ears he still prefers his suit to my disgrace, thinking the way to recommend himself is to disparage me in his report. But know, Grimaldi, though maybe thou art my equal in thy blood, yet this bewrays a lowness in thy mind, which, wert thou noble, thou wouldst as much disdain as I do thee for this unworthiness, and on this ground I willed my servant to correct his tongue, holding a man so base no match for me.
And had not your sudden coming prevented us, I had let my gentleman blood under the gills, I should have wormed you, sir, for running mad.
I'll be revenged, Soranzo.
On a dish of warm broth to stay your stomach. Do, honest innocents, do. Spoon meat is a wholesome diet, than a Spanish blade.
Remember this.
Exit.
I fear thee not, Grimaldi.
My lord Soranzo, this is strange to me. Why you should storm, having my word engaged. Owning her heart, what need you doubt her ear? Losers may talk by law of any game.
Yet the villainy of words, Signor Florio, may be such as would make any unspleen dove choleric. Blame not my lord in this.
Be you more silent. I would not, for my wealth, my daughter's love should cause the spilling of one drop of blood. Vasquez, put up. Let's end this fray in wine.
Exeunt.
How like you this, child? Here's threatening, challenging, quarrelling, and fighting on every side, and all is for your sake. You had need look to yourself, charge. You'll be stolen away sleeping else shortly.
But, tutoress, such a life gives no content to me. My thoughts are fixed on other ends. Would you would leave me?
Leave you? No marvel else. Leave me no leaving, charge. This is love outright. Indeed, I blame you not. You have choice fit for the best lady in Italy.
Pray, do not talk so much.
Take the worst with the best. There's Grimaldi the soldier, a very well-timbered fellow. They say he's a Roman, nephew to the Duke Montferrato. They say he did good service in the wars against the Milanese. But faith, charge, I do not like him, and be for nothing but for being a soldier. Not one amongst 20 of your skirmishing captains but have some privy maim or other. That mars their standing upright. I like him the worse. He crinkles so much in the hams. Though he might serve if there were no more men, yet he's not the man I would choose.
Fie, how thou pratest!
As I am a very woman, I like Signor Soranzo well. He is wise, and what is more, rich, and what is more than that, kind, and what is more than all this, a nobleman. Such a one were I the fair Annabella myself, I would wish and pray for. Then he is bountiful. Besides, he is handsome, and by my troth, I think, wholesome, and that's news in a gallant of 23, liberal that I know, loving that you know, and a man sure, else he could never have purchased such a good name with Hippolyta, the lusty widow, in her husband's lifetime. And 'twere but for that report, sweetheart, would he were thine. Commend a man for his qualities, but take a husband as he is a plain, sufficient naked man. Such a one is for your bed, and such a one is Signor Soranzo, my life for't.
Sure the woman took her morning's draught too soon.
Enter Bergetto and Poggio.
But look, sweetheart, look what thing comes now. Here's another of your ciphers to fill up the number. Oh, brave old ape in a silken coat. Observe.
Didst thou think, Poggio, that I would spoil my new clothes and leave my dinner to fight?
No, sir. I did not take you for so errant a baby.
I am wiser than so. For I hope, Poggio, thou never heardst of an elder brother that was a coxcomb. Didst, Poggio?
Never indeed, sir. As long as they had either land or money left them to inherit.
Is it possible, Poggio? Oh, monstrous! Why, I'll undertake, with a handful of silver, to buy a headful of wit at any time. But, sirrah, I have another purchase in hand. I shall have the wench, mine uncle says. I will but wash my face, and shift socks, and then have at her, faith. Mark my pace, Podjo.
Passes over the stage.
Sir,
aside,
I have seen an ass and a mule trot the Spanish pavin with a better grace. I know not how often.
Following him.
This idiot haunts me too.
Ay, ay, he needs no description. The rich magnifico that is below with your father charge Signor Donato his uncle, for that he means to make this, his cousin, a golden calf, thinks that you will be a right Israelite, and fall down to him presently. But I hope I have tutored you better. They say a fool's bauble is a lady's playfellow. Yet you, having wealth enough, you need not cast upon the dearth of flesh at any rate. Hang him innocent.
Giovanni passes over the stage.
But see, Putana, see! What blessed shape of some celestial creature now appears? What man is he, that with such sad aspect walks careless of himself?
Where?
Look below.
Oh, 'tis your brother, sweet. 'Tis your brother.
Sure, 'tis not he. This is some woeful thing, wrapped up in grief, some shadow of a man. Alas, he beats his breast and wipes his eyes, drowned all in tears. Methinks I hear him sigh. Let's down, Putana, and partake the cause. I know my brother in the love he bears me will not deny me partage in his sadness.
Aside.
My soul is full of heaviness and fear.
Exit with Putana. Scene 3. A hall in Florio's house.
Lost. I am lost. My fates have doomed my death. The more I strive, I love. The more I love, the less I hope. I see my ruin certain. What judgment or endeavors could apply to my incurable and restless wounds, I thoroughly have examined, but in vain. Oh, that it were not in religion's sin to make our love a god and worship it. I have wearied heaven with prayers, dried up the spring of my continual tears, even starved my veins with daily fasts. What wit or art could counsel I have practiced? But alas, I find all these but dreams and old men's tales, to fright unsteady youth. I am still the same, or I must speak or burst. 'Tis not, I know, my lust, but 'tis my fate that leads me on. Keep fear and low, faint-hearted shame with slaves. I'll tell her that I love her, though my heart were rated at the price of that attempt. Oh me, she comes.
Enter Annabella and Putana.
Brother.
Aside.
If such a thing as courage dwell in men, ye heavenly powers, now double all that virtue in my tongue.
Why, brother, will you not speak to me?
Yes, how do you, sister?
Howe'er I am, methinks you are not well.
Bless us! Why are you so sad, sir?
Let me entreat you. Leave us a while, Putana. Sister, I would be private with you.
Withdraw, Putana.
I will.
Aside.
If this were any other company for her, I should think my absence an office of some credit. But I will leave them together.
Exit.
Come, sister, lend me your hand. Let's walk together. I hope you need not blush to walk with me. Here's none but you and I.
How's this?
In faith, I mean no harm.
Harm?
No, good faith. How is it with thee?
Aside.
I trust ye be not frantic. I am very well, brother.
Trust me. But I am sick. I fear so sick, 'twill cost me my life.
Mercy forbid it. 'Tis not so, I hope.
I think you love me, sister.
Yes. You know I do.
I know it indeed. You are very fair.
Nay, then I see you have a merry sickness.
That's as it proves. The poet's fane I read, that Juno for her forehead did exceed all other goddesses. But I durst swear your forehead exceeds hers, as hers did theirs.
Troth, this is pretty.
Oh, such a pair of stars as are thine eyes, would, like Promethean fire, if gently glanced, give life to senseless stones.
Fly upon you.
The lily and the rose, most sweetly strange, upon your dimpled cheeks do strive for change. Such lips would tempt a saint, such hands as those would make an anchorite lascivious.
Do you mock me or flatter me?
Oh, if you would see a beauty more exact than art can counterfeit, or nature frame, look in your glass, and there behold your own.
Oh, you are a trim youth.
Here!
Offers his dagger to her.
What to do?
And here's my breast. Strike home. Rip up my bosom. There thou shalt behold a heart in which is writ the truth I speak. Why stand you?
Are you earnest?
Yes, most earnest. You cannot love.
Whom?
Me. My tortured soul hath felt affliction in the heat of death. Oh, Annabella, I am quite undone. The love of thee, my sister, and the view of thy immortal beauty have untuned all harmony both of my rest and life. Why do you not strike?
Forbid it, my just fears. If this be true, 'twere fitter I were dead.
True. Annabella, 'tis no time to jest. I have too long suppressed my hidden flames that almost have consumed me. I have spent many a silent night in sighs and groans, ran over all my thoughts, despised my fate, reasoned against the reasons of my love, done all that smooth-cheeked virtue could advise, but found all bootless. 'Tis my destiny that you must either love, or I must die.
Comes this in sadness from you?
Let some mischief befall me soon if I dissemble aught.
You are my brother, Giovanni.
You, my sister Annabella. I know this, and could afford you instance why to love so much the more for this, to which intent wise nature first in your creation meant to make you mine, else it had been sin and foul to share one beauty to a double soul. Nearness in birth and blood doth but persuade a nearer nearness in affection. Oh, I have asked counsel of the Holy Church, who tells me I may love you, and 'tis just that since I may, I should, and will, yes will. Must I now live or die?
Live. Thou hast won the field and never fought. What thou hast urged, my captive heart had long ago resolved. I blush to tell thee, but I'll tell thee now. For every sigh that thou hast spent for me, I have sighed 10. For every tear, shed 20. And not so much for that I loved, as that I durst not say I loved, nor scarcely think it.
Oh, let not this music be dreamy, gods. For pity's sake, I beg you.
On my knees.
She kneels.
Brother, even by our mother's dust, I charge you. Do not betray me to your mirth or hate. Love me or kill me, brother.
On my knees.
He kneels.
Sister, even by my mother's dust I charge you, do not betray me to your mirth or hate. Love me or kill me, sister.
You mean good sooth, then?
In good troth I do, and so do you, I hope. Say, I'm in earnest.
I'll swear it, I.
And by this kiss.
Kisses her.
Once more, yet once more. Now let's rise.
They rise.
By this, I would not change this minute for Elysium. What must we now do?
What you will.
Come then, after so many tears as we have wept, let's learn to court in smiles, to kiss and sleep.
Exeunt. Scene 4. A street. Enter Florio and Donato.
Signor Donato, you have said enough. I understand you, but would have you know I will not force my daughter against her will. You see, I have but two, a son and her, and he is so devoted to his book, as I must tell you true, I doubt his health. Should he miscarry, all my hopes rely upon my girl. As for worldly fortune, I am, I thank my stars, blessed with enough. My care is, how to match her to her liking. I would not have her marry wealth, but love. And if she like your nephew, let him have her. Here's all that I can say.
Sir, you say well, like a true father. And, for my part, I, if the young folks can like, twixt you and me, will promise to assure my nephew presently 3,000 florins yearly during life, and, after I am dead, my whole estate.
'Tis a fair proffer, sir. Meantime, your nephew shall have free passage to commence his suit. If he can thrive, he shall have my consent. So, for this time, I'll leave you, signor.
Exit.
Well, here's hope yet. If my nephew would have wit, but he is such another dunce, I fear. He'll never win the wench. When I was young I could have done it, if faith, and so shall he, if he will learn of me, and, in good time, he comes himself.
Enter Bergetto and Poggio.
How now, Bergetto? Whither away so fast?
Oh, uncle, I have heard the strangest news that ever came out of the mint. Have I not, Poggio?
Yes, indeed, sir.
What news, Pergetto?
Why, look ye, uncle. My barber told me just now that there is a fellow come to town who undertakes to make a mill go without the mortal help of any water or wind, only with sandbags. And this fellow hath a strange horse, a most excellent beast, I'll assure you, uncle, my barber says, whose head, to the wonder of all Christian people, stands just behind where his tail is. It's not true, Poggio?
So the barber swore, forsooth.
And you are running thither?
Ay, forsooth, uncle.
Wilt thou be a fool still? Come, sir, you shall not go. You have more mind of a puppet play than on the business I told you. Why, thou great baby, wilt never have wit? Wilt make thyself a May game to all the world?
Answer for yourself, master.
Why, uncle, should I sit at home still, and not go abroad and see fashions like other gallants?
To see hobby horses? What wise talk, I pray, had you with Annabella when you were at Signor Florio's house?
Oh, the wench! I'd say me, uncle, I tickled her with a rare speech that I made her almost burst her belly with laughing.
Nay, I think so. And what speech was it?
What did I say, Poggio?
Forsooth, my master said that he loved her almost as well as he loved Parmescent, and swore, I'll be sworn for him, that she wanted but such a nose as he was to be as pretty a young woman as any was in Parma.
Oh, gross.
Nay, uncle. Then she asked me whether my father had more children than myself, and I said no. 'Twere better he should have had his brains knocked out first.
This is intolerable.
Then, said she, will Signor Donado, your uncle, leave you all his wealth?
Ha! That was good. Did she harp upon that string?
Did she harp upon that string? Ay, that she did. I answered, leave me all his wealth? Why, woman, he hath no other wit. If he had, he should hear on it to his everlasting glory and confusion. I know, quoth I am his white boy, and will not be gulled. And with that she fell into a great smile, and went away. Nay, I did fit her.
Ah, sirrah! Then I see there's no changing of nature. Well, Bergetto, I fear thou wilt be a very ass still.
I should be sorry for that, uncle.
Come, come you home with me, since you are no better a speaker. I'll have you write to her after some courtly manner, and enclose some rich jewel in the letter.
Ay, marry, that will be excellent.
Peace, innocent. Once in my time I'll set my wits to school. If all fail, 'tis but the fortune of a fool.
Poggio, 'twill do, Poggio.
Exeunt. End of Act 1. Act 2 of 'Tis Pity She's a Whore. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. 'Tis Pity She's a Whore by John Ford. Act 2. Scene 1. An apartment in Florio's house. Enter Giovanni and Annabella.
Oh, come, Annabella. No more sister now, but love, a name more gracious. Oh, do not blush, beauty's sweet wonder, but be proud to know that yielding thou hast conquered and inflamed a heart whose tribute is thy brother's life.
And mine is his. Oh, how these stolen contents would print a modest crimson on my cheeks, had any but my heart's delight prevailed.
I marvel why the chaster of your sex should think this pretty toy called maidenhead so strange a loss, when, being lost, 'tis nothing, and you are still the same.
'Tis well for you, now you can talk.
Music as well consists in the ear as in the playing.
Oh, you are wanton. Tell aunt, you were best. Do.
Thou wilt chide me then. Kiss me. So, thus hung Jove on Leda's neck, and sucked divine ambrosia from her lips. I envy not the mightiest man alive, but hold myself in being king of thee more great than were I king of all the world. But I shall lose you, sweetheart.
But you shall not.
You must be married, mistress.
Yes? To whom?
Someone must have you.
You must.
Nay, some other.
Now prithee do not speak so. Without jesting, you'll make me weep in earnest.
What? You will not. But tell me, sweet, canst thou be dared to swear that thou wilt live to me, and to no other?
By both our loves I dare. For didst thou know, my Giovanni, how all suitors seem to my eyes hateful, thou wouldst trust me then.
Enough. I take thy word. Sweet, we must part. Remember what thou vowest. Keep well my heart.
Will you be gone?
I must.
When to return?
Soon.
Look, you do.
Farewell.
Exit.
Go where thou wilt, and mind I'll keep thee here. And where thou art, I know I shall be there. Guardian?
Enter Putana.
Child, how is child? Well, thank heaven, huh?
Oh, guardian, what a paradise of joy have I passed over!
Nay, what a paradise of joy have you passed under! Why, now I commend thee, charge. Fear nothing, sweetheart. What though he be your brother? Your brothers are men, I hope. And I say still, if a young wench feel the fit upon her, let her take any body, father or brother, all is one.
I would not have it known for all the world.
Nor I indeed, for the speech of the people, else 'twere nothing.
Within.
Daughter Annabella.
Oh me, my father. Here, sir. Reach my work.
Within.
What are you doing?
So, let him come now.
Enter Florio, followed by Ricardetto as a doctor of physics, and Philotis with a lute.
So hard at work. That's well. You lose no time. Look, I have brought you company. Here's one, a learned doctor, lately come from Padua, much skilled in physic, and for that I see you have of late been sickly, I entreated this reverend man to visit you sometime.
You are very welcome, sir.
I thank you, mistress. Loud fame in large report hath spoke your praise, as well for virtue as perfection, for which I have been bold to bring with me a kinswoman of mine, a maid, for song and music. One perhaps will give content. Please you to know her.
They are parts I love, and she for them most welcome.
Thank you, lady.
Sir, now you know my house, pray make not strange, and if you find my daughter need your art, I'll be your paymaster.
Sir, what I am, she shall command.
You shall bind me to you. Daughter, I must have conference with you about some matters that concern us both. Good master doctor, please you but walk in. We'll crave a little of your cousin's cunning. I think my girl hath not quite forgot to touch an instrument. She could have done it. We'll hear them both.
I'll wait upon you, sir.
Exeunt. Scene 2. A room in Sorrento's house. Enter Sorrento with a book.
Love's measure is extreme, the comfort pain, the life unrest, and the reward disdain. What's here? Looked o'er again, 'tis so writes this smoothly sensuous poet in his rhymes. But Sanazar, thou liest, for had thy bosom felt such oppression as is laid on mine, thou wouldst have kissed the rod that made thee smart. To work then, happy muse, and contradict what Sanazar hath in his envy writ.
Writes.
Love's measure is the mean, sweet his noise, his pleasures life, and his reward all joys. Had Annabella lived when Sanazar did in his brief encomium celebrate Venice, that queen of cities, he had left that verse which gained him such a sum of gold, and for one only look from Annabel had rid of her and her diviner cheeks. Oh, how my thoughts are
within.
Pray forbear. In rules of civility let me give notice on't. I shall be taxed of my neglect of duty and service.
What rude intrusion interrupts my peace? Can I be nowhere private?
Within.
Troth you wrong your modesty.
What's the matter? Vasquez, who is't?
Enter Hippolyta and Vasquez.
'Tis I. Do you know me now? Look, perjured man, on her whom thou and thy distracted lust have wronged. Thy sensual rage of blood hath made my youth a scorn to men and angels, and shall I be now a foil to thy unsated change? Thou know'st, false wanton, when my modest fame stood free from stain or scandal, all the charms of hell or sorcery could not prevail against the honour of my chaster bosom. Thine eyes did plead in tears, thy tongue in oaths, such and so many that a heart of steel would have been wrought to pity, as was mine. And shall the conquest of my lawful bed, my husband's death, urged on by his disgrace, my loss of womanhood, be ill rewarded with hatred and contempt? No, no, Soronzo, I have a spirit doth as much distaste the slavery of fearing thee, as thou dost loathe the memory of what hath passed.
Nay, dear Hippolyta.
Call me not dear, nor think with supple words to smooth the grossness of my abuses. 'Tis not your new mistress, your goodly madam merchant, shall triumph on my dejection. Tell her thus from me, my birth was nobler, and by much more free.
You are too violent.
You are too double in your dissimulation. Seest thou this habit, these black mourning weeds of care? 'Tis thou art cause of this, and hast divorced my husband from his life, and me from him, and made me widow in my widowhood.
Will you yet hear?
More of thy perjuries? Thy soul is drowned too deeply in those sins. Thou needst not add to the number.
Then I'll leave you. You are past all rules of sense.
And thou of grace.
Fie, mistress, you are not near the limits of reason. If my lord had a resolution as noble as virtue itself, you take the course to unedge it all. Sir, I beseech you, do not perplex her. Griefs, alas, will have a vent. I dare undertake Madame Hippolyta will now freely hear you.
Talk to a woman frantic? Are these the fruits of your love?
They are the fruits of thy untruth, false man. Didst thou not swear, whilst yet my husband lived, that thou wouldst wish no happiness on earth more than to call me wife? Didst thou not vow, when he should die, to marry me? For which the devil in my blood, and thy protests, caused me to counsel him to undertake a voyage to Ligorne, for that we heard his brother there was dead, and left a daughter young and unfriended, whom with much ado I wished him to bring hither. He did so, and went, and as thou knowest, died on the way. Unhappy man, to buy his death so dear with my advice! Yet thou, for whom I did it, forget'st thy vows, and leav'st me to my shame.
Who could help this?
Who? Perjured man! Thou couldst, if thou hadst faith or love.
You are deceived. The vows I made, if you remember well, were wicked and unlawful. 'Twere more sin to keep them than to break 'em. As for me, I cannot mask my penitence. Think thou how much thou hast digressed from honest shame in bringing of a gentleman to death, who was thy husband, such a one as he, so noble in his quality, condition, learning, behaviour, entertainment, love, as Parma could not show a braver man.
You do not well, this was not your promise.
I care not, let her know her monstrous life. Ere I'll be servile to so black a sin, I'll be a curse. Women, come here no more. Learn to repent and die, for by my honour I hate thee and thy lust. You have been too foul.
Exit. Aside.
This part has been scurvily played.
How foolishly this beast condemns his fate, and shuns the use of that which I more scorn than I once loved, his love. But let him go. My vengeance shall give comfort to his woe.
Going.
Mistress, Madame Hippolyta, pray a word or two.
With me, sir?
With you, if you please.
What is't?
I know you are infinitely moved now, and you think you have cause. Some, I confess, you have, but sure not so much as you imagine.
Indeed.
Oh, you were miserably bitter, which you followed even to the last syllable. Faith, you were somewhat too shrewd. By my life, you could not have took my lord in a worse time since I first knew him. Tomorrow you shall find him a new man.
Well, I shall wait his leisure.
Fie, this is not a hearty patience. It comes sourly from you. Troth, let me persuade you for once.
Aside.
I have it, and it shall be so. Thanks, opportunity. Persuade me? To what?
Visit him in some milder temper. Oh, if you could but master a little your female spleen, how might you win him?
He will never love me. Vasquez, thou hast been a too trusty servant to such a master, and I believe thy reward in the end will fall out like mine.
So perhaps too.
Resolve thyself. It will. Had I one so true, so truly honest, so secret to my counsels, as thou hast been to him and his, I should think it a slight acquittance, not only to make him master of all I have, but even of myself.
Oh, you are a noble gentlewoman.
Wilt thou feed always upon hopes? Well, I know thou art wise, and seest the reward of an old servant daily what it is.
Beggary and neglect.
True. But, Vasquez, wert thou mine, and wouldst be private to me and my designs, I here protest, myself and all what I can else call mine should be at thy dispose.
Aside.
Work you that way, old mole? Then I have the wind of you. I were not worthy of it by any desert that could lie within my compass. If I could.
What then?
I should then hope to live in these my old years with rest and security.
Give me thy hand. Now promise but thy silence, and help to bring to a pass a plot I have. And here, in sight of heaven, that being done, I make thee lord of me and mine estate.
Come, you are merry. This is such a happiness that I can neither think nor believe.
Promise thy secrecy, and 'tis confirmed.
Then here I call our good genie for witness. Whatsoever your designs are, or against whomsoever, I will not only be a special actor therein, but never disclose it till it be effected.
I take thy word. And with that, thee for mine. Come then, let's more confer of this anon.
Aside.
On this delicious bane my thought shall banquet. Revenge shall sweeten what my griefs have tasted.
Exit with Vasquez. Scene 3. The street. Enter Ricardetto and Philotis.
Thou seest, my lovely niece, these strange mishaps, how all my fortunes turn to my disgrace, wherein I am but as a looker on, whilst others act my shame, and I am silent.
But, uncle, wherein can this borrowed shape give you content?
I'll tell thee, gentle niece, thy wanton aunt, in her lascivious riots, lives now secure, thinks I am surely dead in my late journey to Lignorn for you, as I have caused it to be rumoured out. Now would I see with what an impudence she gives scope to her loose adultery, and how the common voice allows hereof. Thus far I have prevailed.
Alas, I fear you mean some strange revenge.
Oh, be not troubled. Your ignorance shall plead for you in all. But to our business. What? You learned for certain how Signor Florio means to give his daughter in marriage to Soranzo?
Yes, for certain.
But how find you young Annabella's love inclined to him?
For aught I could perceive, she neither fancies him nor any else.
There is mystery in that, which time must show. She used you kindly?
Yes?
And craved your company?
Often.
'Tis well. It goes as I could wish. I am the doctor now, and as for you, none knows you. If all fail not, we shall thrive. But who comes here? I know him. 'Tis Grimaldi, a Roman and a soldier, near allied unto the Duke of Montferrato, one attending on the nuncio of the Pope that now resides in Parma, by which means he hopes to get the love of Annabella.
Enter Grimaldi.
Save you, sir.
And you, sir.
I have heard of your approved skill, which through the city is freely talked of, and would crave your aid.
For what, sir?
Marry, sir, for this but I would speak in private.
Leave us, cousin.
Philotis retires.
I love fair Annabella, and would know whether in arts there may not be receipts to move affection.
Sir, perhaps there may, but these will nothing profit you.
Not me?
Unless I be mistook, you are a man greatly in favour with the cardinal.
What of that?
In duty to his grace, I will be bold to tell you, if you seek to marry Florio's daughter, you must first remove a bar twixt you and her.
Who's that?
Soranzo is the man that hath her heart, and while he lives, be sure you cannot speed.
Soranzo? What? Mine enemy? Is it he?
Is he your enemy?
The man I hate worse than confusion. I will tell him straight.
Nay, then take my advice, even for his grace's sake, the cardinal. I'll find a time when he and she do meet, of which I'll give you notice. And to be sure he shall not scape you, I'll provide a poison to dip your rapier's point in. If he had as many heads as Hydra had, he dies.
But shall I trust thee, doctor?
As yourself. Doubt not in aught.
Exit Grimaldi.
Thus shall the fates decree. By me Soranzo falls, that ruined me.
Exeunt. Scene 4. Another part of the street. Enter Donado, with a letter, Baghetto, and Poggio.
Well, sir, I must be content to be both your secretary and your messenger myself. I cannot tell what this letter may work. But, as sure as I am alive, if thou come once to talk with her, I fear thou wilt mar whatsoever I make.
You make, uncle? Why, am not I big enough to carry mine own letter, I pray?
Ay, carry a fool's head of thy own. Why, thou dunce, wouldst thou write a letter and carry it thyself?
Yes, that I would, and read it to her with mine own mouth. For you must think, if she will not believe me myself when she hears me speak, she will not believe another's handwriting. Oh, you think I am a blockhead, uncle. No, sir. Poggio knows I have indited a letter myself. So I have.
Yes, truly, sir. I have it in my pocket.
A sweet one, no doubt. Pray, let's see it.
I cannot read my own hand very well, Poggio. Read it, Poggio.
Begin.
Reads.
Most dainty and honey-sweet mistress, I could call you fair and lie as fast as any that loves you. But my uncle, being the elder man, I leave it to him, as more fit for his age and the colour of his beard. I am wise enough to tell you that I can board where I see occasion, or if you like my uncle's wit better than mine, you shall marry me. If you like mine better than his, I will marry you, in spite of your teeth. So, commending my best parts to you, I rest yours, upwards and downwards, or you may choose. Bergetto.
Ah, here's stuff, uncle.
Here's stuff indeed, to shame us all. Pray, whose advice did you take in this learned letter?
None, upon my word, but mine own.
And mine, uncle, believe it, nobody else's. 'Twas mine own brain. I thank a good wit for it.
Get you home, sir, and look you keep within doors till I return.
How? That were a jest indeed. I scorn it, faith.
What? You do not?
Judge me, but I do now.
Indeed, sir, 'tis very unhealthy.
Well, sir, if I hear any of your apish running to motions and fopperies till I come back, you were as good not. Look to it.
Exit.
Poggio, shall us steal and see this horse with the head in its tail?
Aye, but you must take heed of whipping.
Dost take me for a child, Poggio? Come, honest Poggio.
Exeunt. Scene 5. Friar Bonaventura's cell. Enter Friar and Giovanni.
Peace. Thou hast told a tale whose every word threatens eternal slaughter to the soul. I'm sorry to have heard it. Would mine ears have been 1 minute deaf before the hour that thou camest to me. O young man, cast away by the religious number of mine order, I day and night have waked my aged eyes above my strength to weep on thy behalf. But heaven is angry, and be thou resolved. Thou art a man remarked to taste of mischief. Look for it, though it come late, it will come sure.
Father, in this you are uncharitable. What I have done, I'll prove both fit and good. It is a principle which you have taught, when I was yet your scholar, that the frame and composition of the mind doth follow the frame and composition of the body. So, where the body's furniture is beauty, the mind's must needs be virtue, which allowed virtue itself is reason but refined, and love the quintessence of that. This proves my sister's beauty, being rarely fair, is rarely virtuous. Chiefly in her love, and chiefly in that love, her love to me. If hers to me, then so is mine to her, since in like causes are effects alike.
O ignorance in knowledge! Long ago, how often have I warned thee this before? Indeed, if we were sure there were no deity, nor heaven nor hell, then to be led alone by nature's light, as were philosophers of elder times, might instance some defence. But 'tis not so. Then, madman, thou wilt find that nature is in heaven's positions blind.
Your age overrules you. Had you youth like mine, you'd make her love your heaven, and her divine.
Nay, then I see thou art too far sold to hell. It lies not in the compass of my prayers to call thee back. Yet let me counsel thee. Persuade thy sister to some marriage.
Marriage? Why, that's to damn her. That's to prove her greedy of variety of lust.
O fearful! If thou wilt not, give me leave to shrive her, lest she should die unabsolved.
At your best leisure, father. Then she'll tell you how dearly she doth prize my matchless love. Then you will know what pity 'twere we two should have been sundered from each other's arms. View well her face, and in that little round you may observe a world's variety. For colors lips, for sweet perfumes her breath, for jewels eyes, for threads of purest gold hair, for delicious choice of flowers cheeks. Wonder in every portion of that throne. Hear her but speak, and you will swear the spheres make music to the citizens in heaven. But, father, what is else but pleasure framed, lest I offend your ears, shall go unnamed?
The more I hear, I pity thee the more, that one so excellent should give those parts all to a second death. What I can do is but to pray, and yet I could advise thee, wouldst thou be ruled.
In what?
Why, leave her yet. The throne of mercy is above your trespass, yet time is left you both.
To embrace each other, else let all time be struck quite out of number. She is like me, and I like her, resolved.
No more, I'll visit her. This grieves me most, things being thus, a pair of souls are lost.
Exeunt. Scene 6. A room in Florio's house. Enter Florio, Donado, Annabella, and Putana.
Where is Giovanni?
Newly walked abroad, and as I heard him say, gone to the friar, his reverend tutor.
That's a blessed man, a man made up of holiness. I hope he'll teach him how to gain another world.
Fair gentlewoman, here's a letter sent to you from my young cousin. I dare swear he loves you in his soul. Would you could hear sometimes what I see daily, sighs and tears, as if his breast were prison to his heart.
Receive it, Annabella.
Alas, good man.
Takes the letter.
What's that she said?
An't please you, sir, she said, Alas, good man. Truly I do commend him to her every night before her first sleep, because I would have her dream of him, and she hearkens to that most religiously.
Say it so. God a mercy, Putana, there is something for thee.
Gives her money.
And prithee do what thou canst on his behalf. It shall not be lost labor. Take my word for it.
Thank you most heartily, sir. Now I have a feeling of your mind, let me alone to work.
Guardian?
Did you call?
Keep this letter.
Signor Florio, in any case, bid her read it instantly.
Keep it? For what? Pray read it me here, right?
I shall, sir.
She reads the letter.
How do you find her inclined, signor?
Troth, sir, I know not how. Not all so well as I could wish.
Sir, I am bound to rest your cousin's debtor. The jewel I'll return, for if he love, I'll count that love a jewel.
Mark you that? Nay, keep them both, sweet maid.
You must excuse me. Indeed, I will not keep it.
Where is the ring, that which your mother in her will bequeathed, and charged you on her blessing not to give it to any but your husband? Send back that.
I have it not.
Ah, have it not? Where is it?
My brother in the morning took it from me. Said he would wear it today.
Well, what do you say to young Bergetto's love? Are you content to match with him? Speak.
There is the point, indeed.
Aside.
What shall I do? I must say something now.
What say? Why do you not speak?
Sir, with your leave, please you to give me freedom.
Yes, you have it.
Signor Donato, if your nephew mean to raise his better fortunes in his match, the hope of me will hinder such a hope. Sir, if you love him, as I know you do, find one more worthy of his choice than me. In short, I'm sure I shall not be his wife.
Why, here's plain dealing. I commend thee for it, and all the worst I wish thee is heaven bless thee. Your father yet and I will still be friends. Shall we not, Signor Florio?
Yes, why not? Look, here your cousin comes.
Enter Bergetto and Poggio.
Oh, coxcomb, what doth he make here?
Where is my uncle, sirs?
What is the news now?
Save you, uncle, save you. You must not think I come for nothing, masters. And how is it? What? You have read my letter? Ah, there I tickled you, i'faith.
But 'twere better you had tickled her in another place.
Sirrah, sweetheart, I'll tell thee a good jest, and riddle what it is.
You say you'll tell me.
As I was walking just now in the street, I met a swaggering fellow who would needs take the wall of me, and because he did thrust me, I very valiantly called him rogue. He hereupon bade me draw. I told him I had more wit than so, but when he saw that I would not, he did so maul me with the hilts of his rapier, that my head sung whilst my feet capered in the kennel.
Was ever the like ass seen?
And what did you all this while?
Laugh at him for a gull, till I saw the blood run about mine ears, and then I could not choose but find in my heart to cry, till a fellow with a broad beard, they say he's a new-come doctor, called me into his house, and gave me a plaster. Look you, here 'tis. And, sir, there was a young wench washed my face and hands most excellently. Faith, I shall love her as long as I live for it. Did she not, Poggio?
Yes, and kissed him too.
Why, la now, you think I tell a lie, uncle, I warrant.
Would he that beat thy blood out of thy head had beaten some wit into it? For I fear thou never wilt have any.
Oh, uncle, but there was a wench would have done a man's heart good to have looked on her. By this light, she had a face methinks worth 20 of you, Mistress Annabella.
Was ever such a fool born?
I'm glad she liked you, sir.
Are you so? By my troth, I thank you, forsooth.
Sure, it was the doctor's niece that was last day with us here.
'Twas she.
How do you know that, Simplicity?
Why, does he not say so? If I should have said no, I should have given him the lie, uncle, and so have deserved a dry beating again. I'll none of that.
A very modest, well-behaved young maid, as I have seen.
Is she indeed?
Indeed she is, if I have any judgment.
Well, sir, now you are free. You need not care for sending letters now. You are dismissed. Your mistress here will none of you.
No? Why, what care I for that? I can have wenches enough in Parma for 50 apiece. Can I not, Poggio?
I'll warrant you, sir.
Signor Florio, I thank you for your free recourse you gave for my admittance, and to you, fair maid, that jewel I will give you against your marriage. Come, will you go, sir?
Ay, marry will I. Mistress, farewell, mistress. I'll come again tomorrow. Farewell, mistress.
Exeunt Donado, Bergetto, and Poggio. Enter Giovanni.
Son, where have you been? What, alone? Alone still? I would not have it so. You must forsake this over-bookish humour. Well, your sister hath shook the fool off.
'Twas no match for her.
'Twas not, indeed. I meant it nothing less. Saranzo is the man I only like. Look on him, Annabella. Come, 'tis supper time, and it grows late.
Exit.
Whose jewel's that?
Some sweethearts.
So I think.
A lusty youth, Signor Donato, gave it me to wear against my marriage.
But you shall not wear it. Send it back again.
What, are you jealous?
That you shall know anon, at greater leisure. Welcome, sweet night. The evening crowns the day.
Exeunt. End of Act 2. Act 3 of 'Tis Pity She's a Whore. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. 'Tis Pity She's a Whore by John Ford. Act 3. Scene 1. A room in Donado's house. Enter Bergetto and Poggio.
Does my uncle think to make me a baby still? No, Poggio. He shall know I have a sconce now.
Ay, let him not bob you off like an ape with an apple.
S'foot I will have the wench, if he were 10 uncles, in despite of his nose, Poggio.
Hold him to the grindstone, and give not a jot of ground. She hath in a manner promised you already.
True, Poggio, and her uncle, the doctor, swore I should marry her.
He swore, I remember.
And I will have her, that's more. Did see the codpiece point she gave me? And the box of marmalade?
Very well, and kissed you that my chops watered at the sight on't. There is no way but to clap up a marriage in hugger-mugger.
I will do it, for I tell thee, Poggio, I begin to grow valiant, methinks, and my courage begins to rise.
Should you be afraid of your uncle?
Hang him, old doting rascal. No, I say I will have her.
Lose no time, then.
I will beget a race of wise men and constables that shall cart whores at their own charges, and break the Duke's peace ere I have done myself. Come away.
Exeunt. Scene 2. A room in Florio's house. Enter Florio, Giovanni, Soranzo, Annabella, Putana, and Vasquez.
My lord Soranzo, though I must confess the proffers that are made me have been great in marriage of my daughter, yet the hope of your still rising honours has prevailed above all other jointures. Here she is. She knows my mind. Speak for yourself to her. And here you, daughter, see you use him nobly. For any private speech I'll give you time. Come, son, and you the rest, let them alone. Agree they as they may.
I thank you, sir.
Aside to Annabella.
Sister, be not a woman. Think on me.
Vasquez?
My lord.
Attend me without.
Exeunt all but Soranzo and Annabella.
Sir, what's your will with me?
Do you not know what I should tell you?
Yes. You'll say you love me.
And I will swear it too. Will you believe it?
'Tis no point of faith.
Enter Giovanni in the gallery above.
Have you not will to love?
Not you.
Whom then?
That's as the fates infer.
Of those I'm regent now.
What mean you, sweet?
To live and die a maid.
Oh, that's unfit.
Here's one can say that's but a woman's note.
Did you but see my heart, then would you swear
that you were dead?
That's true, or somewhat near it.
See you this true love's tears?
No.
Now she winks.
They plead to you for grace.
Yet nothing speak.
Oh, grant my suit.
What is't?
To let me leave.
Take it.
Still yours.
That is not mine to give.
One such another word would kill his hopes.
Mistress, to leave those fruitless strifes of wed, know I have loved you long, and loved you truly. Not hope of what you have, but what you are, hath drawn me on. Then let me not in vain still feel the rigour of your chaste disdain. I'm sick, and sick to the heart.
Help, aquavitae!
What mean you?
Why, I thought you had been sick.
Do you mock my love?
There, sir, she is too nimble.
Aside.
'Tis plain she laughs at me. These scornful taunts neither become your modesty or years.
You are no looking-glass, or if you were, I would dress my language by you.
I am confirmed.
To put you out of doubt, my lord, methinks your common sense should make you understand that if I loved you, or desired your love, some way I should have given you better taste. But since you are a nobleman, and one I would not wish should spend his youth in hopes, let me advise you to forbear your suit. And think I wish you well, I tell you this.
Is't you speak this?
Yes, I myself. Yet no, thus far I give you comfort. If mine eyes could have picked out a man amongst all those that sued to me to make a husband of, you should have been that man. Let this suffice. Be noble in your secrecy, and wise.
Why, now, I see she loves me.
One word more. As ever virtue lived within your mind, as ever noble courses were your guide, as ever you would have me know you loved me, let not my father know hereof by you. If I hereafter find that I must marry, it shall be you or none.
I take that promise.
Oh, my head.
What's the matter, not well?
Oh, I begin to sicken.
Heaven forbid!
Exit from above.
Help, help, within here, ho!
Enter Florio, Giovanni, and Putana.
Look to your daughter, Signor Florio.
Hold her up, she swoons.
Sister, how do you?
Sick. Brother, are you there?
Convey her to bed instantly, whilst I send for a physician. Quickly, I say.
Alas, poor child!
Exeunt all but Soranzo. Re-enter Vasquez.
My lord?
O Vasquez, now I doubly am undone, both in my present and my future hopes. She plainly told me that she could not love, and thereupon soon sickened, and I fear her life's in danger.
Aside.
By your lady, sir, and so is yours if you knew all. Lass, sir, I am sorry for that. Maybe 'tis but a maid's sickness, an overflux of youth, and then, sir, there is no such present remedy as present marriage. But hath she given you an absolute denial?
She hath, and she hath not. I'm full of grief, but what she said I'll tell thee as we go.
Exeunt. Scene 3. Another room in the same. Enter Giovanni and Putana.
Oh, sir, we are all undone, quite undone, utterly undone, and shamed forever. Your sister, oh, your sister!
What of her? For heaven's sake, speak! How does she?
Oh, that ever I was born to see this day!
She is not dead, ah? Is she?
Dead? No, she is quick. 'Tis worse. She is with child. You know what you have done. Heaven forgive you. 'Tis too late to repent now. Heaven help us.
With child? How dost thou know it?
How do I know it? Am I at these years ignorant what the meanings of qualms and water, pangs be? Of changing of colours, queasiness of stomachs, pukings, and another thing that I could name? Do not, for her and your credit's sake, spend the time in asking how and which way 'tis so. She is quick, upon my word. If you let a physician see her water, you are undone.
But in what case is she?
Prettily amended. 'Twas but a fit which I soon espied, and she must look for often henceforward.
Commend me to her. Bid her take no care. Let not the doctor visit her, I charge you. Make some excuse till I return. Oh me, I have a world of business in my head. Do not discomfort her. How do these news perplex me? If my father come to her, tell him she's recovered well. Say 'twas but some ill diet. Do you hear, woman? Look you to it.
I will, sir.
Exeunt. Scene 4. Another room in the same. Enter Florio and Ricardetto.
And how do you find her, sir?
Indifferent well. I see no danger, scarce perceive she's sick, but that she told me she had lately eaten melons, and as she thought, those disagreed with her young stomach.
Did you give her aught?
An easy surfeit water, nothing else. You need not doubt her health. I rather think her sickness is a fullness of her blood. You understand me?
I do. You counsel well, and once within these few days will so order it. She shall be married ere she know the time.
Yet let not haste, sir, make unworthy choice. That were dishonour.
Master Doctor, no. I will not do so neither. In plain words, my Lord Soranzo is the man I mean.
a noble and a virtuous gentleman.
As any is in Parma. Not far hence dwells Father Bonaventure, a grave friar, once tutor to my son. Now at his cell I'll have them married.
You have plotted wisely.
I'll send one straight to speak with him tonight.
Soranzo's wise. He will delay no time.
It shall be so.
Enter Friar and Giovanni.
Good peace be here, and love.
Welcome, religious friar. You are one that still bring blessing to the place you come to.
Sir, with what speed I could, I did my best to draw this holy man from forth his cell, to visit my sick sister, that with words of ghostly comfort, in this time of need, he might absolve her, whether she live or die.
'Twas well done, Giovanni. Thou herein hast showed a Christian's care, a brother's love. Come, father, I'll conduct you to her chamber, and one thing would entreat you.
Say on, sir.
I have a father's dear impression and wish, before I fall into my grave, that I might see her married as 'tis fit. A word from you, grave man, will win her more than all our best persuasions.
Gentle sir, all this I'll say, that heaven may prosper her.
Exeunt. Scene 5. A room in Ricardetto's house. Enter Grimaldi.
Now, if the doctor keep his word, Soranzo, 20-1 you miss your bride. I know 'tis an unholy act, and not becomes a soldier's valor, but in terms of love, where merit cannot sway, policy must. I am resolved, if this physician play not on both hands, then Soranzo falls.
Enter Ricardetto.
You are come as I could wish. This very night Soranzo, 'tis ordained, must be affied to Annabella, and for aught I know, married.
How?
Yet your patience. The place, 'tis Friar Bonaventura's cell. Now I would wish you to bestow this night in watching thereabouts. 'Tis but a night. If you miss now, tomorrow I'll know all.
Have you the poison?
Here 'tis, in this box. Doubt nothing, this will do it. In any case, as you respect your life, be quick and sure.
I'll speed him.
Do. Away, for 'tis not safe you should be seen much here. Ever my love.
And mine to you.
Exit.
So, if this hit, I'll laugh and hug revenge, and they that now dream of a wedding feast may chance to mourn the lusty bridegroom's ruin. But to my other business, niece Philotis.
Enter Philotis.
Uncle.
My lovely niece, you have bethought you?
Yes, and as you counselled, fashioned my heart to love him. But he swears he will tonight be married, for he fears his uncle else, if he should know the drift, will hinder all and cause his cause to shrift.
Tonight? Why, best of all. But let me see, yes, so it shall be. In disguise we'll early to the friars. I have thought on't.
Uncle, he comes.
Enter Bergetto and Poggio.
Welcome, my worthy coz.
Lass, pretty lass, come bus, lass. Aha, Poggio.
Kisses her. Aside.
There's hope of this yet. You shall have time enough. Withdraw a little. We must confer at large.
Have you not sweetmeats or dainty devices for me?
You shall have enough, sweethearts.
Sweetheart, mark that, Poggio. By my troth, I cannot choose but kiss thee once more for that word, sweetheart. Poggio, I have a monstrous swelling about my stomach, whatsoever the matter be.
You shall have physic for it, sir.
Time runs apace.
Time's a blockhead.
Be ruled. When we have done what's fit to do, then you may kiss your fill, and bed her too.
Exeunt. Scene 6. Florio's house. Annabella's chamber. A table with wax lights. Annabella at confession before the friar. She weeps and wrings her hands.
I am glad to see this penance, for, believe me, you have unripped a soul so foul and guilty, as I must tell you true, I marvel how the earth hath borne you up. But weep, weep on. These tears may do you good. Weep faster yet, whilst I do read a lecture.
Wretched creature!
Ay, you are wretched, miserably wretched, almost condemned alive. There is a place, list, daughter, in a black and hollow vault, where day is never seen. There shines no sun, but flaming horror of consuming fires, a lightless sulphur, choked with smoky fogs of an infected darkness. In this place dwell many thousand sundry sorts of never-dying deaths. There damned souls roar without pity. There are gluttons fed with toads and adders. There is burning oil poured down the drunkard's throat. The usurer is forced to sup whole draughts of molten gold. There is the murderer for ever stabbed, yet can he never die. There lies the wanton on racks of burning steel, whilst in his soul he feels the torment of his raging lust.
Mercy! Oh, mercy!
There stand these wretched things who have dreamed out whole years in lawless sheets and secret incests, cursing one another. Then you will wish each kiss your brother gave had been a dagger's point. Then you shall hear how he will cry, "Oh, would my wicked sister had first been damned when she did yield to lust!" But soft, methinks I see repentance work new motions in your heart. Say, how is't with you?
Is there no way left to redeem my miseries?
There is, despair not. Heaven is merciful, and offers grace even now. 'Tis thus agreed. First, for your honour's safety, that you marry my lord Soranzo. Next, to save your soul, leave off this life, and henceforth live to him.
On me!
Sigh not. I know the baits of sin are hard to leave. Oh, 'tis a death to do it. Remember what must come. Are you content?
I am.
I like it well. We'll take the time. Who's near us there?
Enter Florio and Giovanni.
Did you call, father?
Is Lord Soranzo come?
He stays below.
Have you acquainted him at full?
I have, and he is overjoyed.
And so are we. Bid him come near.
Aside.
My sister's weeping. I fear this friar's falsehood. I will call him.
Exit.
Daughter, are you resolved?
Father, I am.
Re-enter Giovanni with Soranzo and Vasquez.
My lord Soranzo, here, give me your hand. For that I give you this.
Joins their hands.
Lady, say you so too?
I do, and vow to live with you and yours.
Timely resolved. My blessing rest on both. More to be done, you may perform it on the morning sun.
Exeunt. Scene 7. The street before the monastery. Enter Grimaldi with his rapier drawn, and a dark lantern.
'Tis early night as yet, and yet too soon to finish such a work. Here I will lie to listen who comes next.
He lies down. Enter Bergetto and Philotis disguised, and followed, at a distance, by Ricardetto and Poggio.
We are almost at the place, I hope, sweetheart?
I hear them near, and heard one say sweetheart. 'Tis he. Now guide my hand, some angry justice, home to his bosom. Now have it you, sir.
Stabs Bergetto and exit.
Oh, help! Help! Here's a stitch fallen in my guts. Oh, for a flesh tailor, quickly! Poggio!
What ails my love?
I am sure I cannot piss forward and backward, and yet I am wet before and behind. Lights, lights, oh, lights!
Alas, some villain here has slain my love.
Oh, heaven forbid it! Raise up the neighbours, instantly, Poggio, and bring lights.
Exit Poggio.
How is it, Bergetto? Slain? It cannot be. Are you sure you are hurt?
Oh, my belly seethes like a porridge pot. Some cold water. I shall boil over else. My whole body is in a sweat, that you may wring my shirt. Feel here. Why, Poggio?
Re-enter Poggio with officers and lights.
Here, alas, how do you?
Give me a light. What's here? All blood. Oh, sirs, Signor Donado's nephew now is slain. Follow the murderer with all the haste up to the city. He cannot be far hence. Follow, I beseech you.
Follow, follow, follow.
Exeunt.
Tear off thy linen, coz, to stop his wounds. Be of good comfort, man.
Is all this mine own blood? Nay, then good night with me. Poggio, commend me to my uncle, dost hear? Bid him, for my sake, make much of this wench. Oh, I am going the wrong way, sure. My belly aches so. Oh, farewell, Poggio. Oh, oh.
Dies.
Oh, he is dead.
How? Dead?
He's dead, indeed. 'Tis now too late to weep. Let's have him home, and, with what speed we may, find out the murderer.
Oh, my master, my master, my master!
Exeunt. Scene 8. A room in Hippolyta's house. Enter Vasquez and Hippolyta.
Betrothed?
I saw it.
And when's the marriage day?
Some 2 days hence.
2 days? Why, man, I would but wish 2 hours, to send him to his last and lasting sleep. And, Vasquez, thou shalt see I'll do it bravely.
I do not doubt your wisdom, nor, I trust, you my secrecy. I am infinitely yours.
I will be thine in spite of my disgrace. So soon? A wicked man! I durst be sworn he'd laugh to see me weep.
And that's a villainous fault in him.
No, let him laugh. I am armed in my resolves. Be thou still true.
I should get little by treachery against so hopeful a preferment as I am like to climb to.
Even to my bosom, Vasquez. Let my youth revel in these new pleasures. If we thrive, he now hath but a pair of days to live.
Exeunt. Scene 9. The street before the Cardinal's gates. Enter Florio, Donado, Ricardetto, Poggio, and officers.
'Tis bootless now to show yourself a child, Signor Donado. What is done is done. Spend not the time in tears, but seek for justice.
I must confess, somewhat I was in fault, that had not first acquainted you what love passed twixt him and my niece. But, as I live, his fortune grieves me, as it were mine own.
Alas, poor creature, he meant no man harm, that I am sure of.
I believe that too. But stay, my masters. Are you sure you saw the murderer pass here?
An it please you, sir, we are sure we saw a ruffian, with a naked weapon in his hand, all bloody, get into my Lord Cardinal's Grace's gate. That we are sure of. But, for fear of his Grace, bless us, we durst go no farther.
Know you what manner of man he was?
Yes, sure, I know the man. They say he is a soldier, that he loved your daughter, sir, and please ye, 'twas he for certain.
Grimaldi, on my life.
Ay, the same.
The Cardinal is noble. He no doubt will give true justice.
Knock someone at the gate.
I'll knock, sir.
Knocks. Within.
What would ye?
We require speech with the Lord Cardinal about some present business. Pray inform his Grace that we are here.
Enter Cardinal, followed by Grimaldi.
Why, how now, friends? What saucy mates are you, that know nor duty nor civility? Are we a person fit to be your host, or is our house become your common inn, to beat our doors at pleasure? What such haste is yours, as that it cannot wait fit times? Are you the masters of this commonwealth, and know no more discretion? Oh, your news is here before you. You have lost a nephew, Donardo, last night by Grimaldi slain. Is that your business? Well, sir, we have knowledge on't. Let that suffice.
In presence of your Grace, in thought, I never meant Birgetto harm. But, Florio, you can tell, with how much scorn Soranzo, backed with his confederates, hath often wronged me. I to be revenged, for that I could but win him else to fight, had thought, by way of ambush, to have killed him, but was, unluckily, therein mistook. Else he had felt what late Birgetto did. And though my fault to him were merely chance, yet humbly I submit me to your Grace.
Kneeling.
To do with me as you please.
Rise up, Grimaldi.
He rises.
You, citizens of Parma, if you seek for justice, know, as nuncio from the Pope, for this offence, I here receive Grimaldi into his Holiness's protection. He is no common man, but nobly born, of prince's blood, though you, Sir Florio, thought him too mean a husband for your daughter. If more you seek for, you must go to Rome, for he shall thither. Learn more wit, for shame. Bury your dead. Away, Grimaldi. Leave 'em.
Exeunt Cardinal and Grimaldi.
Is this a churchman's voice? Dwells justice here?
Justice is fled to heaven, and comes no nearer. Soranzo, was't for him? Oh, impudence! Had he the face to speak it, and not blush? Come, come, Donato, there's no help in this, when cardinals think murder's not amiss. Great men may do their wills, we must obey, but heaven will judge them for it another day.
Exeunt. End of Act 3. Act 4 of 'Tis Pity She's a Whore. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. 'Tis Pity She's a Whore by John Ford. Act 4. Scene 1. A room in Florio's house. A banquet set out. Horseboys. Enter the friar, Giovanni, Annabella, Philotis, Soranzo, Donardo, Florio, Ricardetto, Putana, and Vasquez.
These holy rites performed, now take your times to spend the remnant of the day in feast. Such fit repasts are pleasing to the saints, who are your guests, though not with mortal eyes to be beheld. Long prosper in this day, you happy couple, to each other's joy.
Father, your prayer is heard. The hand of goodness hath been a shield for me against my death, and more to bless me hath enriched my life with this most precious jewel. Such a prize as earth hath not another like to this. Cheer up, my love, and gentlemen, my friends, Rejoice with me in mirth. This day will crown with lusty cups to Annabella's health.
Aside.
Oh, torture! Were this marriage yet undone, ere I'd endure this sight, to see my love glipped by another, I would dare confusion, and stand the horror of 10,000 deaths.
Are you not well, sir?
Pray thee, fellow, wait. I need not thy officious diligence.
Signor Donato, come, you must forget your late mishaps, and drown your cares in wine.
Vasquez.
My lord.
Reach me that weighty bowl. Here, brother Giovanni, here's to you. Your turn come next, though now a bachelor. Here's to your sister's happiness and mine.
Drinks, and offers him the bowl.
I cannot drink.
What?
'Twill indeed offend me.
Pray do not urge him if he be not willing.
Hautboys.
How now? What noise is this?
Oh, sir, I had forgot to tell you. Certain young maidens of Parma, in honour to Madam Annabella's marriage, have sent their loves to her in a mask, for which they humbly crave your patience and silence.
We are much bound to them, so much the more, as it comes unexpected. Guide them in.
Enter Hippolyta, followed by ladies in white robes, with garlands of willows, all masked. Music and a dance.
Thanks, lovely virgins. Now might we but know to whom we have been beholding for this love, we shall acknowledge it.
Yes, you shall know. What think you now?
Unmasked.
Hippolyta!
'Tis she. Be not amazed, nor blush, young lovely bride. I come not to defraud you of your man. 'Tis now no time to reckon up the talk, what Parma long hath rumoured of us both. Let rash report run on. The breath that vents it will, like a bubble, break itself at last. But now, to you, sweet creature, lend your hand. Perhaps it hath been said that I would claim some interest in Soranzo, now your lord. What I have right to do, his soul knows best. But in my duty to your noble worth, sweet Annabella, and my care of you, here, Soranzo, take this hand from me. I'll once more join what by the holy church is finished and allowed. Have I done well?
You have too much engaged us.
One thing more, that you may know my single charity, freely I here remit all interest I e'er could claim, and give you back your vows. And to confirm't, reach me a cup of wine.
Vasquez gives her a poisoned cup.
My lord Soranzo, in this draught I drink, long rest to ye.
She drinks. Aside.
Look to it, Vasquez.
Fear nothing.
Hippolyta, I thank you, and will pledge this happy union as another life. Wine there.
You shall have none. Neither shall you pledge her.
How?
No, now, mistress she-devil, your own mischievous treachery hath killed you. I must not marry you.
Villain!
What's the matter?
Foolish woman, thou art now like a firebrand that hath kindled others and burnt thyself. Troppo spirar inganna. Thy vain hope hath deceived thee. Thou art but dead, if thou hast any grace, pray.
Monster!
Die in charity, for shame. This thing of malice, this woman hath privately corrupted me with promise of marriage, under this political reconciliation, to poison my lord, whilst she might laugh at his confusion on his marriage day. I promised her fair, but I knew what my reward should have been, and would willingly have spared her life, but that I was acquainted with the danger of her disposition, and now have fitted her a just payment in her own coin. There she is, she hath yet, and end thy days in peace, vile woman. As for life, there's no hope. Think not on't.
Wonderful
justice! Heaven, thou art righteous.
Oh, 'tis true. I feel my minute coming. Had that slave kept promise, oh, my torment! Thou this hour hadst died, Soranzo. heat above hell-fire. Yet ere I pass away, oh, cruel, cruel flames, take here my curse amongst you. May thy bed of marriage be a rack unto thy heart, burn blood and boil in vengeance. Oh, my heart, my flames intolerable! Mayst thou live to father bastards! May her womb bring forth monsters, and die together in your sins, hated, scorned, and unpitied! Oh, oh!
Dies.
Was e'er so vile a creature?
Here's the end of lust and pride.
It is a fearful sight.
Vasquez, I know thee now a trusty servant, and never will forget thee. Come, my love, we'll home and thank the heavens for this escape. Father and friends, we must break up this mirth. It is too sad a feast.
Bear hence the body.
Aside to Giovanni.
Here's an ominous change. Mark this, my Giovanni, and take heed. I fear the event. That marriage seldom's good, where the bride banquet so begins in blood.
Exeunt. Scene 2. A room in Ricardetto's house. Enter Ricardetto and Philotis.
My wretched wife, more wretched in her shame than in her wrongs to me, hath paid too soon the forfeit of her modesty and life. And I am sure, my niece, though vengeance hover, keeping aloof yet from Soranzo's fall, yet he will fall, and sink with his own weight. I need not now, my heart persuades me so, to further his confusion. There is one above begins to work, for, as I hear, debates already twixt his wife and him thicken and run to head. She, as 'tis said, slightens his love, and he abandons hers. Much talk I hear. Since things go thus, my niece, in tender love and pity of your youth, my counsel is that you should free your years from hazard of these woes by flying hence to fair Cremona, there to vow your soul in holiness, a holy votaress. Leave me to see the end of these extremes. All human worldly courses are uneven. No life is blessed, but the way to heaven.
Uncle, shall I resolve to be a nun?
Ay, gentle niece, and in your hourly prayers remember me, your poor unhappy uncle. Hie to Cremona now, as fortune leads. Your home, your cloister, your best friends, your beads, your chaste and single life shall crown your birth. Who dies a virgin lives a saint on earth.
Then farewell world and worldly thoughts adieu. Welcome chaste vows. Myself I yield to you.
Exeunt. Scene 3. A chamber in Soranzo's house. Enter Soranzo unbraced and dragging in Annabella.
Come, strumpet, famous whore, were every drop of blood that runs in thy adulterous veins a life? This sword, dost see it, should in one blow confound them all. Harlot, rare notable harlot, that with thy brazen face maintain'st thy sin, was there no man in Parma to be bored to your loose cunning whoredom else but I? Must your heart itch, and pleurisy of lust, the heyday of your luxury, be fed up to the surfeit, and could not but I be picked out to be clogged to your close tricks, your belly sports? Now I must be the dad to all that gallimaufry that is stuffed in thy corrupted bastard-bearing womb? Why must I?
Beastly man! Why, 'tis thy fate. I sued not to thee, for but that I thought your over-loving lordship would have run mad on denial. Had you lent me time, I would have told you in what case I was, but you would needs be doing.
Whore of whores, darest thou tell me this?
Oh yes, why not? You were deceived in me. 'Twas not for love I chose you, but for honor. Yet know this, would you be patient yet, and hide your shame, I'd see whether I could love you.
Excellent queen, why, art thou not with child?
What needs all this, when 'tis superfluous? I confess I am.
Tell me by whom?
Soft, 'twas not in my bargain. Yet somewhat, sir, to stay your longing stomach, I am content to acquaint you with the man, the more than man, that got this sprightly boy. For 'tis a boy, and therefore glory, sir, your heir shall be a son.
Damnable monster.
Nay, you will not hear, I'll speak no more.
Yes, speak, and speak thy last.
A match, a match! This noble creature was in every part so angel-like, so glorious, that a woman who had not been but human, as was I, would have kneeled to him and have begged for love. You! Why, you are not worthy once to name his name without true worship, or indeed unless you kneeled to hear another name him.
What was he called?
We are not come to that. Let it suffice that you shall have the glory to father what so brave a father got. In brief, had not this chance fallen out as it doth, I never had been troubled with the thought that you had been a creature. But for marriage, I scarce dream yet of that.
Tell me his name.
Alas, alas, there's all. Will you believe?
What?
You shall never know.
How?
Never. If you do, let me cursed.
Not know its trumpet. I'll rip up thy heart and find it there.
Do, do!
And with my teeth tear the prodigious lecher joint by joint.
The man's merry.
Dost thou laugh? Come, whore, tell me your lover, or by truth I'll hew thy flesh to shreds. Who is't?
Sings.
Che morte pin dolce che morire pecere more.
Thus will I pull thy hair, and thus I'll drag thy lust-belepered body through the dust.
Hails her up and down.
Yet tell his name.
Sings.
Morendo in grazie de morire senza dolore.
Dost thou triumph? The treasure of the earth shall not redeem thee. Where there kneeling kings did beg thy life, or angels did come down to plead in tears, yet should not all prevail against my rage. Dost thou not tremble yet?
At what? To die? No, be a gallant hangman. I dare thee to the worst. Strike, and strike home. I leave revenge behind, and thou shalt feel it.
Yet tell me ere thou diest, and tell me truly, knows thy old father this?
No, by my life.
Wilt thou confess, and I will spare thy life?
My life. I will not buy my life so dear.
I will not slack my vengeance.
Draws his sword. Enter Vasquez.
What do you mean, sir?
Forbear, Vasquez, such a damned whore deserves no pity.
Now the gods forfend, and would you be her executioner and kill her in your rage too? Oh, 'twere most unmanlike. She is your wife. What faults have been done by her before she married you were not against you. Alas, poor lady, what hath she committed which any lady in Italy in the like case would not? Sir, you must be ruled by your reason, and not by your fury, that were inhuman and beastly.
She shall not live.
Come, she must. You would have her confess the authors of her present misfortunes. I warrant you, 'tis an unconscionable demand, and she should lose the estimation that I, for my part, hold of her worth, if she had done it. Why, sir, you ought not, of all men living, to know it. Good sir, be reconciled. Alas, good gentlewoman!
Pish! Do not beg for me. I prize my life as nothing. If the man will needs be mad, why let him take it.
Vasquez, hearest thou this?
Yes, and commend her for it. In this she shrews the nobleness of a gallant spirit, and beshrews my heart. but it becomes her rarely.
Aside to Soranzo.
Sir, in any case, smother your revenge. Leave the scenting out your wrongs to me. Be ruled as you respect your honor, or you mar all.
Aloud.
Sir, if ever my service were of any credit with you, be not so violent in your distractions. You are married now. What a triumph might the report of this give to other neglected suitors! 'Tis as manlike to bear extremities, as godlike to forgive.
Oh, Vasquez, Vasquez, in this piece of flesh, this faithless face of hers, had I laid up the treasure of my heart, hadst thou been virtuous, fair, wicked woman, not the matchless joys of life itself had made me wish to live with any saint but thee. Deceitful creature, how hast thou mocked my hopes, and in the shame of thy lewd womb even buried me alive. I did too dearly love thee.
Aside to Soranzo.
This is well. Follow this temper with some passion. Be brief and moving. 'Tis for the purpose.
Be witness to my words, my soul and thoughts, and tell me, didst not think that in my heart I did too superstitiously adore thee?
I must confess, I know you loved me well.
And wouldst thou use me thus? O Annabella, be thou assured, whoever the villain was that thus hath tempted thee to this disgrace, well he might lust, but never loved like me. He doted on the picture that hung out upon thy cheeks, to please his humorous eye, not on the part I loved, which was thy heart, and, as I thought, thy virtues.
Oh, my lord, these words wound deeper than your sword could do.
Let me not ever take comfort, but I begin to weep myself. So much I pity him. Why, madame, I knew when his rage was overpast what it would come to.
Forgive me, Annabella. Though thy youth hath tempted thee above thy strength to folly, yet will I not forget what I should be, and what I am, a husband. In that name is hid divinity. If I do find that thou wilt yet be true, here I remit all former faults, and take thee to my bosom.
By my troth, and that's a point of noble charity.
Sir, on my knees.
Rise up, you shall not kneel. Get to your chamber, see you make no shew of alteration, I'll be with you straight. My reason tells me now that 'tis as common to err in frailty as to be a woman. Go to your chamber.
Exit Annabella.
So, this was somewhat to the matter. What do you think of your heaven of happiness now, sir?
I carry hell about me, all my blood is fired in swift revenge.
That may be. But know you how, or on whom? Alas, to marry a great woman, being made great, and the stock at your hand, is the usual sport in these days. But to know what ferret it was that hunted your coney burrow, there is the cunning.
I'll make her tell herself, or...
Or what? You must not do so. Let me yet persuade your sufferance a little while. Go to her. Use her mildly. Win her, if it be possible, to a voluntary, to a weeping tune. For the rest, if all hit, I will not miss my mark. Pray, sir, go in. The next news I tell you shall be wonders.
Delay in vengeance gives a heavier blow.
Exit.
Ah, sirrah, here's work for the nonce. I had a suspicion of a bad matter in my head a pretty while ago, but after my madam's scurvy looks her at home, her waspish perverseness and loud fault-finding, then I remembered the proverb, that where hens crow and cocks hold their peace, there are sorry houses. 'Sfoot if the lower part of a she-tailor's cunning can cover up such a swelling in the stomach. I'll never blame a false stitch in a shoe whilst I live again. Up, and up so quick, and so quickly too? 'Twere a fine policy to learn by whom. This must be known, and I have thought on't.
Enter Putana in tears.
Here's the way, or none. What crying, old mistress! Alas, alas, I cannot blame you. We have a lord, heaven help us, is so mad as the devil himself, the more shame for him.
O Vasquez, that ever I was born to see this day! Doth he use thee so too sometimes, Vasquez?
Me? Why, he makes a dog of me. But if some were of my mind, I know what we would do. As sure as I am an honest man, he will near to kill my lady with unkindness. Say she be with child, is that such a matter for a young woman of her years to be blamed for?
Alas, good heart, it is against her will full sore.
I durst be sworn, all his madness is for that she will not confess who 'tis, which he will know. And when he doth know it, I am so well acquainted with his humour, that he will forget all straight. Well, I could wish she would in plain terms tell all, for that's the way indeed.
Do you think so?
Foh, I know it, provided that he did not win her to it by force. He was once in a mind that you could tell, and meant to have wrung it out of you, but I somewhat pacified him from that. Yet, sure you know a great deal.
Heaven forgive us all! I know a little, Vasquez.
Why should you not? Who else should? Upon my conscience, she loves you dearly, and you would not betray her to any affliction for the world.
Not for all the world, by my faith and troth, Vasquez.
'Twere pity of your life if you should, but in this you should both relieve her present discomfort, pacify my lord, and gain yourself everlasting love and preferment.
Dost think so, Vasquez?
Nay, I know it. Sure, it was some near and entire friend.
'Twas a dear friend indeed, but—
But what? Fear not to name him. My life between you and danger. Faith, I think it was no base fellow.
Thou wilt stand between me and harm.
You'd's pity what else? You shall be rewarded too, trust me.
'Twas even no worse than her own brother.
Her brother Giovanni, I warrant you.
Even he, Vasquez, as brave a gentleman as ever kissed fair lady. Oh, they love most perpetually.
Aside.
A brave gentleman indeed. Why, therein I commend her choice. Better and better. You are sure 'twas he?
Sure, and you shall see he will not be long from her too.
He were to blame if he would. But may I believe thee?
Believe me? Why, dost think I am a Turk or a Jew? No, Vasquez, I have known their dealings too long to belie them now.
Where are you? There within, sirs?
Enter banditti.
How now, what are these?
You shall know presently. Come, sirs, take me this old damnable hag. Gag her instantly and put out her eyes. Quickly, quickly.
Vasquez! Vasquez!
Gag her, I say. Sfoot, do you suffer her to prate? What do you fumble about? Let me come to her. I'll help your old gums, you toad-bellied bitch.
They gag her.
Sirs, carry her closely into the coal house and put out her eyes instantly. If she roars, slit her nose. Do you hear? Be speedy and sure.
Exeunt banditti with putana.
Why, this is excellent, and above expectation. Her own brother! Oh, horrible! To what a height of liberty and damnation hath the devil trained our age! Her brother! Well, there's yet but a beginning. I must to my lord, and tutor him better in his points of vengeance. Now I see how a smooth tale goes beyond a smooth tale. But soft, what thing comes next? Giovanni! As I could wish, my belief is strengthened. 'Tis as firm as winter and summer.
Enter Giovanni.
Where's my sister?
Troubled with a new sickness, my lord. She's somewhat ill.
Took too much of the flesh, I believe.
Troth, sir, and you, I think, have even hit it. But my virtuous lady—
Where is she?
In her chamber. Please you visit her, she is alone.
Giovanni gives him money.
Your liberality hath doubly made me your servant, and ever shall ever.
Exit Giovanni. Re-enter Soranzo.
Sir, I am made a man. I have plied my cue with cunning and success. I beseech you, let us be private.
My lady's brother's come. Now he'll know all.
Let him know it. I have made some of them fast enough. How have you dealt with my lady?
Gently as thou hast counselled. O my soul runs circular in sorrow for revenge. But Vasquez, thou shalt know.
Nay, I will know no more, for now comes your turn to know. I would not talk so openly with you. Let my young master take time enough, and go at pleasure. He is sold to death, and the devil shall not ransom him. Sir, I beseech you, your privacy.
No conquest can gain glory of my fear.
Exeunt. End of Act 4. Act 5 of 'Tis Pity She's a Whore. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. 'Tis Pity She's a Whore by John Ford. Act 5. Scene 1. The street before Soranzo's house. Annabella appears at a window above.
Pleasures farewell, and all ye thriftless minutes wherein false joys have spun a weary life. To these my fortunes now I take my leave. Thou precious time, that swiftly ridst in post over the world, to finish up the race of my last fate, here stay thy restless course, and bear to ages that are yet unborn a wretched, woeful woman's tragedy. My conscience now stands up against my lust, with depositions charactered in guilt.
Enter Friar, below.
And tells me I am lost. Now I confess, beauty that clothes the outside of the face is cursed if it be not clothed with grace. Here like a turtle, mute up in a cage, unmated, I converse with air and walls, and descant on my vile unhappiness. O Giovanni, that hast had the spoil of thine own virtues and my modest fame, would thou hadst been less subject to those stars that luckless reigned at my nativity. Oh, would the scourge due to my black offence might pass from thee, that I alone might feel the torment of an uncontrolled flame.
What's this I hear?
That man, that blessed friar who joined in ceremonial knot my hand to him whose wife I now am, told me oft I trod the path to death, and showed me how. But they who sleep in lethargies of lust hug their confusion, making heaven unjust. And so did I.
Here's music to the soul.
Forgive me, my good genius, and this once be helpful to my ends. Let some good man pass this way, to whose trust I may commit this paper, double-lined with tears and blood. Which being granted here, I sadly vow repentance, and the leaving of that life I long have died in.
Lady, heaven hath heard you, and hath by providence ordained that I should be his minister for your behoof.
Ha! What are you?
Your brother's friend, the friar. Glad in my soul that I have lived to hear this free confession twixt your peace and you. What would you, or to whom? Fear not to speak.
Is heaven so bountiful? Then I have found more favour than I hoped. Here, holy man.
Throws down a letter.
Commend me to my brother. Give him that letter. Bid him read it and repent. Tell him that I, imprisoned in my chamber, barred of all company, even of my guardian, which gives me cause of much suspect, have time to blush at what hath passed. Bid him be wise, and not believe the friendship of my lord. I fear much more than I can speak. Good father, the place is dangerous, and spies are busy. I must break off. You'll do it?
Be sure I will, and fly with speed. My blessing ever rest with thee, my daughter. Live to die more blessed.
Exit.
Thanks to the heavens who have prolonged my breath to this good use. Now I can welcome death.
Withdraws from the window. Scene 2. Another room in the same. Enter Toranzo and Vasquez.
Am I to be believed now? First, marry a strumpet that casts herself away upon you but to laugh at your horns, to feast on your disgrace, ride in your vexation, cuckold you in your bride bed, waste your estate upon panders and bawds.
No more, I say, no more.
A cuckold is a goodly tamed beast, my lord.
I am resolved, urge not another word. My thoughts are great, and all as resolute as thunder. In meantime, I'll cause Our Lady to deck herself in all her bridal robes, kiss her and fold her gently in my arms. Begone, yet here you. Are the banditti ready to wait in ambush?
Good sir, trouble not yourself about other business than your own resolution. Remember that time lost cannot be recalled.
With all the cunning words thou canst, invite the states of Parma to my birthday's feast. Haste to my brother rival and his father, entreat them gently, bid them not to fail, be speedy and return.
Let not your pity betray you. Till my coming back, think upon incest and cuckoldry.
Revenge is all the ambition I aspire. To that I'll climb or fall, my blood's on fire.
Exeunt. Scene 3. A room in Florio's house. Enter Giovanni.
Busy opinion is an idle fool. that, as a school rod keeps a child in awe, frights the unexperienced temper of the mind. So did it me, who, ere my precious sister was married, thought all taste of love would die in such a contract. But I find no change of pleasure in this formal law of sports. She is still one to me, and every kiss as sweet and as delicious as the first I reaped, when yet the privilege of youth entitled her a virgin. Oh, the glory of two united hearts like hers and mine! Let poring bookmen dream of other worlds. My world and all of happiness is here, and I'd not change it for the best to come. A life of pleasure is Elysium.
Enter Friar.
Father, you enter on the jubilee of my retired delights. Now I can tell you, the hell you have oft prompted is naught else but slavish and fond superstitious fear, and I should prove it too.
Thy blindness slays thee. Look there, 'tis writ to thee.
Gives him the letter.
From whom?
Unrip the seals and see. The blood's yet seething hot, that will anon be frozen harder than congealed coral. Why do you change colour, son?
For heaven, you make some petty devil factor twixt my love and your religion masked sorceries. Where had you this?
Thy conscience, youth, is seared, else thou wouldst stoop to warning.
Oh, 'tis her hand, I know it, and 'tis all written in her blood. She writes I know not what. Death. I'll not fear an armed thunderbolt aimed at my heart. She writes, we are discovered. Pox on dreams of low, faint-hearted cowardice. Discovered? The devil we are. Which way is it possible? Are we grown traitors to our own delights? Confusion takes such dotage. 'Tis but forged. This is your peevish chattering, weak old man.
Enter Vasquez.
Now, sir, what news bring you?
My lord, according to his yearly custom, keeping this day a feast in honor of his birthday by me, invites you thither. Your worthy father, with the Pope's reverend nuncio, and other magnificios of Parma, have promised their presence. Will't please you to be of the number?
Yes. Tell him I dare come.
Dare come?
So I said. And tell him more, I will come.
These words are strange to me.
Say, I will come.
You will not miss?
Yet more. I'll come, sir. Are you answered?
So I'll say my service to you.
Exit.
You will not go, I trust.
Not go? For what?
Oh, do not go. This feast, I'll gage my life, is but a plot to train you to your ruin. Be ruled, you shall not go.
Not go. Stood death, threatening his armies of confounding plagues, with hosts of dangers hot as blazing stars, I would be there. Not go. Yes, and resolve to strike as deep in slaughter as they all. For I will go.
Go where thou wilt. I see the wildness of thy fate draws to an end, to a bad, fearful end. I must not stay to know thy fall. Back to Bononia I with speed will haste, and shun this coming blow. Parma, farewell. Would I had never known thee, or aught of thine. Well, young man, since no prayer can make thee safe, I leave thee to despair.
Exit.
Despair, or tortures of 1,000 hells, all's one to me. I have set up my rest. Now, work serious thoughts on baleful plots. Be all a man, my soul. Let not the curse of old prescription rend from me the gall of courage, which enrolls a glorious death. If I must totter like a well-grown oak, some undershrub shall in my weighty fall be crushed to splits. With me they all shall perish.
Exit. Scene 4. A hall in Soranzo's home. Enter Soranzo, Vasquez with masks, and banditti.
You will not fail or shrink in the attempt?
I will undertake for their parts. Be sure, my masters, to be bloody enough, and as unmerciful as if you were preying upon a rich booty owed the very mountains of Liguria. For your pardons, trust to my lord, but for reward, you shall trust none but your own pockets.
We'll make a murder.
His gold.
Gives them money.
His more want nothing. What you do is noble, an act of brave revenge. I'll make you rich, banditti, and all free.
Liberty! Liberty!
Hold. Take every man a vizard. When you are withdrawn, keep as much silence as you can possibly. You know the watchword, to which be spoken, move not. But when you hear that, rush in like a stormy flood. I need not instruct you in your own profession.
No! No! No!
In then, your ends are profit and preferment. Away.
Exeunt banditti.
The guests will all come, Vasquez?
Yes, sir. And now let me a little edge your resolution. You see nothing is unready to this great work, but a great mind in you. Call to your remembrance your disgrace, your loss of honor, Hippolyta's blood, and arm your courage in your own wrongs. So shall you best right those wrongs in vengeance, which you may truly call your own.
'Tis well, the less I speak the more I burn, and blood shall quench that flame.
Now you begin to turn Italian. This beside, when my young incest-monger comes, he will be sharp set on his old bit. Give him time enough. Let him have your chamber and bed at liberty. Let my hot hair have law, ere he be hunted to his death, that, if it be possible, he post to hell in the very act of his damnation.
It shall be so, and see as we would wish he comes himself first.
Enter Giovanni.
Welcome, my much-loved brother. Now I perceive you honor me. You are welcome, but where's my father?
With the other states, attending on the nuncio of the Pope to wait upon him hither. How's my sister?
Like a good housewife, scarcely ready yet. You were best walk to her chamber.
If you will.
I must expect my honorable friends. Good brother, get her forth.
You are busy, sir.
Exit.
Even as the great devil himself would have it, let him go and glut himself in his own destruction.
Flourish.
Hark, the nuncio is at hand. Good sir, be ready to receive him.
Enter Cardinal, Florio, Donado, Ricardetto, and attendants.
Most reverend lord, this grace hath made me proud. That you vouchsafe my house, I ever rest your humble servant for this noble favour.
You are our friend, my lord. His Holiness shall understand how zealously you honour St. Peter's Vicar in his substitute. Our special love to you.
Signors, to you my welcome and my ever best of thanks for this so memorable courtesy. Pleaseth your grace walk near?
My lord, we come to celebrate your feast with civil mirth, as ancient custom teacheth. We will go.
Attend his grace, the seniors keep your way.
Exeunt. Scene 5. Annabella's bedchamber in the same. Annabella, richly dressed, and Giovanni.
What? Changed so soon? Hath your new sprightly lord found out a trick in night games more than we could know in our simplicity? Ah, is it so? Or does the fit come on you to prove treacherous to your past vows and oaths?
Why should you jest at my calamity without all sense of the approaching dangers you were in?
What dangers have so great as thy revolt? Thou art a faithless sister, else thou knowest malice or any treachery beside would stoop to my bent brows. Why, I hold fate clasped in my fist, and could command the course of time's eternal motion, hadst thou been one thought more steady than an ebbing sea. And what? You'll now be honest? That's resolved?
Brother, dear brother, know what I have been, and know that now there's but a dining time twixt us and our confusion. Let's not waste these precious hours in vain and useless speech. Alas, these gay attires were not put on but to some end. This sudden solemn feast was not ordained to riot in expense. I that have now been chambered here alone, barred of my guardian or of any else, am not for nothing at an instant freed to fresh access. Be not deceived, my brother. This banquet is an harbinger of death to you and me. Resolve yourself it is, and be prepared to welcome it.
Well, then, the schoolmen teach that all this globe of earth shall be consumed to ashes in a minute.
So I have read too.
But 'twere somewhat strange to see the waters burn. Could I believe this might be true, I could believe as well there might be hell or heaven.
That's most certain.
Oh, a dream, a dream. Else in this other world we should know one another.
So we shall.
Have you heard so?
For certain.
But do you think that I shall see you there? You look on me. May we kiss one another, prate or laugh, or do as we do here?
I know not that. But, brother, for the present, what do you mean to free yourself from danger? Some way think how to escape. I'm sure the guests are come.
Look up. Look here. What do you see in my face?
Distraction and a troubled conscience.
Death and a swift repining wrath. Yet look. What see you in mine eyes?
Methinks you weep.
I do indeed. These are the funeral tears shed on your grave. These furrowed up my cheeks when first I loved and knew not how to woo. Fair Annabella, should I here repent the story of my life, we might lose time. Be record all the spirits of the air, and all things else that are, that day and night, early and late, the tribute which my heart hath paid to Annabella's sacred love, hath been these tears, which are her mourners now. Never till now did nature do her best to show a matchless beauty to the world, which in an instant ere it scarce was seen. The jealous destinies required again. Pray, Annabella, pray. Since we must part, go thou, white in thy soul, to fill a throne of innocence and sanctity in heaven. Pray, pray, my sister.
Then I see your drift. Ye blessed angels, guard me.
So say I. Kiss me. If ever aftertime should hear of our fast-knit affections, though perhaps the laws of conscience and of civil use may justly blame us, yet when they but know our loves, that love will wipe away that rigor, which would in other incests be abhorred. Give me your hand. How sweetly life doth run in these well-colored veins! How constantly these palms do promise health! But I could chide with nature for this cunning flattery. Oh, kiss me again. Forgive me.
With my heart.
Farewell.
Will you be gone?
Oh, be dark, bright sun, and make this midday night, that thy gilt rays may not behold a deed will turn their splendor more sooty than the poets feign their sticks. One other kiss, my sister.
What means this?
To save thy fame and kill thee in a kiss.
Stabs her.
Thus die. Die by me and by my hand. Revenge is mine. Honor doth love command.
Oh, brother, by your hand.
When thou art dead, I'll give my reasons for it. For to dispute with thy, even in thy death, most lovely beauty, would make me stagger to perform this act which I most glory in.
Forgive him, heaven, and me my sins. Farewell, brother. Unkind, unkind. Mercy, great heaven. Oh, oh.
Dies.
She's dead. Alas, good soul. The hapless fruit that in her womb received its life from me hath had from me a cradle and a grave. I must not dally. This sad marriage bed, in all her best, bore her alive and dead. Soranzo, thou hast missed thy aim in this. I have prevented now thy reaching plots, and killed a love, for whose each drop of blood I would have pawned my heart. Fair Annabella, how over-glorious art thou in thy wounds, triumphing over infamy and hate. Shrink not, courageous hand. Stand up, my heart, and boldly act my last and greater part.
The scene closes. Scene 6. A banqueting room in the same. A banquet. Enter the Cardinal, Florio, Donado, Soranzo, Ricardetto, Vasquez, and attendants. Apart to Soranzo.
Remember, sir, what you have to do. Be wise and resolute.
Enough. My heart is fixed. Pleaseth your grace to taste these coarse confections, though the use of such set entertainments more consists in custom than in cause, yet, reverend sir, I am still made your servant by your presence.
And we your friend.
But where's my brother Giovanni?
Enter Giovanni with a heart upon his dagger.
Here, here, Soranzo, trimmed in reeking blood that triumphs over death, proud in the spoil of love and vengeance. Fate, or all the powers that guide the motions of immortal souls, could not prevent me.
What means this?
Son Giovanni.
Aside.
Shall I be forestalled?
Be not amazed. If your misgiving hearts shrink at an idle sight, what bloodless fear of coward passion would have seized your senses, had you beheld the rape of life and beauty, which I have acted? My sister, oh, my sister!
Ah, what of her?
The glory of my deed darkened the midday sun, made noon as night. You came to feast, my lords, with dainty fare. I came to feast too, but I digged for food in a much richer mine than gold or stone of any value balanced. 'Tis a heart, my lords, in which is mine entombed. Look well upon it. Do you know it?
Aside.
What strange riddle is this?
'Tis Annabella's heart. 'Tis. Why do you startle? I vow 'tis hers. This dagger's point ploughed up her fruitful womb, and left to me the fame of a most glorious executioner.
Ay, madman, art thyself?
Yes, father, and that times to come may know how, as my fate, I honoured my revenge. List, father, to your ears I will yield up how much I have deserved to be your son.
What is it thou sayest?
9 moons have had their changes since I first thoroughly viewed and truly loved your daughter and my sister.
How? Alas, my lords, he is a frantic madman.
Father, no. For 9 months' space, in secret, I enjoyed sweet Annabella's sheets. 9 months I lived a happy monarch of her heart, and her. Soranzo, thou knowest this. Thy paler cheeks bears the confounding print of thy disgrace. For her too fruitful womb too soon bewrayed the happy passage of our stolen delights, and made her mother to a child unborn.
Incestuous villain!
Ah, his rage belies him.
It does not. 'Tis the oracle of truth. I vow it is so.
I shall burst with fury. Bring this trumpet forth.
I shall, sir.
Exit.
Oh, do, sir. Have you all no faith to credit yet my triumphs? Here I swear by all you call sacred, by the love I bore my Annabella whilst she lived, these hands hath from her bosom ripped this heart.
Re-enter Vasquez.
Is it true or no, sir?
'Tis most strangely true.
Cursed man, have I lived to...
Dies.
Hold up, Florio. Monster of children, see what thou hast done, broke thy old father's heart. Is none of you dares venture on him?
Oh, let them. Oh, my father, how well his death becomes him in his griefs. Why, this was done with courage. Now survives none of our house but I, gilt in the blood of a fair sister and a hapless father.
Inhuman scorn of men, hast thou a thought to outlive thy murders?
Draws.
Yes, I tell thee, yes. For in my fists I bear the twists of life. Soranzo, see this heart, which was thy wife's. Thus I exchange it royally for thine.
They fight.
And thus, now brave revenge is mine.
Soranzo falls.
I cannot hold any longer. You, sir, are you grown insolent in your butcheries? Have at you.
Come, I am armed to meet thee.
They fight.
No, will it not be yet? If this will not, another shall. Not yet? I shall fit you anon. Vengeance!
The banditti rush in.
Welcome, come more of you. Whate'er you be, I dare your worst.
They surround and wound him.
I can stand no longer. Feeble arms, have you so soon lost strength?
Falls.
Now you are welcome, sir.
Aside to banditti.
Away, my masters! All is done. Shift for yourselves. Your reward is your own. Shift for yourselves.
Away! Away!
Exeunt.
How do you, my lord? See you this?
Pointing to Giovanni.
How is't?
Dead, but in death well pleased that I have lived to see my wrongs revenged on that black devil. O Vasquez, to thy bosom let me give my last of breath. Let not that lecher live. Oh.
Dies.
The reward of peace and rest be with you, my ever dearest lord and master.
Whose hand gave me this wound?
Mine, sir. I was your first man. Have you enough?
I thank thee. Thou hast done for me but what I would have else done on myself. Art sure thy lord is dead?
O imprudent slave, as sure as I am sure to see thee die.
Think on thy life and end, and call for mercy.
Mercy. Why, I have found it in this justice.
Strive yet to cry to heaven.
Oh, I bleed fast. Death, thou art a guest long looked for. I embrace thee and thy wounds. My last minute comes. Where'er I go, let me enjoy this grace, freely to view my Annabella's face.
Dies.
Strange miracle of justice.
Raise up the city, we shall be murdered all.
You need not fear, you shall not. This strange task being ended, I have paid the duty to the sun. which I have vowed to the father.
Speak, wretched villain, what incarnate fiend hath led thee on to this?
Honesty, and pity of my master's wrongs. For know, my lord, I am by birth a Spaniard, brought forth my country in my youth by Lord Soranzo's father, whom whilst he lived I served faithfully, since whose death I have been to this man as I was to him. What I have done was duty, and I repent nothing, but that the loss of my life had not ransomed his.
Say, fellow, know'st thou any yet unnamed of counsel in this incest?
Yes, an old woman, sometime guardian to this murdered lady.
And what's become of her?
Within this room she is, whose eyes after her confession I caused to be put out, but kept alive, to confirm what from Giovanni's own mouth you have heard. Now, my lord, what I have done you may judge of, and let your own wisdom be a judge in your own reason.
Peace! First, this woman, chief in these effects, my sentence is, that forthwith she be ta'en out of the city, for example's sake, there to be burned to ashes.
'Tis most just.
Be it your charge, Donado. See it done.
I shall.
What for me? If death, 'tis welcome. I have been honest to the son, as I was to the father.
Fellow, for thee, since what thou didst was done not for thyself, being no Italian, we banish thee for ever, to depart within 3 days. In this we do dispense with the grounds of reason, not of thine offence.
'Tis well. This conquest is mine, and I rejoice that a Spaniard outwent an Italian in revenge.
Exit.
Take up these slaughtered bodies, see them buried, and all the gold and jewels, or whatsoever, confiscate by the canons of the church, we seize upon to the Pope's proper use.
Discovers himself.
Your grace's pardon. Thus long I lived disguised, to see the effect of pride and lust at once brought both to shameful ends.
What? Richardetto, whom we thought for dead?
Sir, was it you?
Your friend.
We shall have time to talk at large of all. But never yet incest and murder have so strangely met of one so young, so rich in nature's store. Who could not say, "'Tis pity she's a whore"?
Exeunt. End of Act 5. End of 'Tis Pity She's a Whore.